Hey guys, what's going on? We're back with another update. Today we're talking about what's happening in the St. George real estate market. Right now, prices have been incredibly resilient. We've seen prices actually climb over the last couple months, and you might have a lot of questions about what's going on in the market. Why is this happening despite interest rates climbing to 7.5%, even 8%? Why is the market in this position? We're going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to show you some of the stats of what's happening in the market, and then also give you some context as to why this is happening here in this area. So with that being said, let's jump into my screen here and take a look at this information. So we'll start off with this info right here. Let's zoom in here a little bit, get this a little bit bigger for you. So September 2023, according to this data set, which includes Southern Utah as a whole, here from the Wasatch Front Regional MLS system, September 2023, we had 131 home sales. The median list price was $579,900, and the actual sales price was $592,900. Now, this represents actually a 2% over list price sales price on a median basis. This is largely going to be due to a number of new construction homes that have sold here in this time frame, right? If you have a new construction home, it might be listed for, let's say, $550, but if somebody comes in, they do some updates, they make some changes to the carpet or to the floors or the door, they add a third car garage or something like that, then this number can easily get elevated from there. It might go from $550 up to $580, right? That's why there's this difference here. Although the fact that this is showing higher is actually a very, very interesting statistic. If you look at the last couple of months here, the median price in May, sales price was $499, then we had $522, $490, $490, and then we all of a sudden hit $592 in September of this year. And for the month of October, we're sitting at $532. So I think this $592 is a little bit of an outlier. I do not believe that the median sales price has jumped that much. I think we're actually probably closer to the high 400s, maybe right around 500,000. But there were a number of higher priced homes that actually drove this number up much higher than you would expect. If you take this with a grain of salt, you can actually see here, again, going back from April, 97% on the actual median sales price to original list price. We're at 97% right here, 97, 98, 98, and then we hit 102. I don't actually think it's at 102 just because of some particular properties that have skewed this data. But if you actually look at this, we're probably closer to 99%, maybe even 100% on a sales price to list price ratio. Now, this is actually very interesting because in addition to all that, the days on market for homes here in this data set have also dropped, right? We're at 28, 34, 40. We're climbing during this time. And then now we've dropped down here substantially to 23 days on market. So I want to talk to you a little bit about why all this is happening, what you can do about it if you're a buyer or a seller in this market, how this is going to affect you, and everything you need to know about that. So as we jump into this information and I give you some context, my name's Cody Steck. I'm your favorite Utah realtor. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate here across the state of Utah, please reach out to me. My team and I service the entire state, and we'd love to help you along in that journey, whether you're looking to buy a new property or you've got something that you want to sell, or maybe you're looking to invest in real estate. We do a lot of investments as well. I would love to help you along in that journey of your own. I want to be your trusted real estate resource as we jump into that. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit about why this is actually happening here in the market. So during this time, over the last couple of months, interest rates have actually been climbing pretty heavily. If we take a look here at my screen again, you can see if we go back to, let's just say April of this year, mortgage rates on your standard, 30-year fixed loan was somewhere between about 6 to 6.5%. We're, let's choose the low here. On April 5th, we were at 6.16%. And since then, rates have really been climbing. And over the last couple of weeks, we're sitting here at 7.92% on your average 30-year fixed loan. So looking at this, interest rates have climbed during this period, yet prices haven't remained incredibly resilient. We've gone from about, the low 6% range to almost 8% range over the last 6 months or so, yet prices really haven't budged all that much. Again, looking at this information here, prices have been up, they've been down a little bit, but they really haven't moved. So why is this happening? Well, here in Southern Utah, we do see a lot of second homes, a lot of vacation homes, and that actually is a big driver in the market, right? There's lots of people here who are not in a position to sell, either because they own the home outright, or potentially it's a second home and they don't have to sell the home, right? They're renting it out, or they, use it on a consistent basis. These are generally people who own these homes that are a little bit more well off and are not in a position where they have to sell their home. So because of that, they're not very motivated to drop the price, right? If they list their home and they want to sell it for $600, they're just going to sit on the market, sell it for $600, and somebody's going to come along, whether that's next week or in 3 months, and they're going to pay that $600,000 price. The other thing about this is there's also a ton of demand in the market still. There's still lots of people who want to go out there. They want to purchase homes. They're moving to the area, or they already live in the area and they're renting, and they want to purchase a home. And unfortunately, they're just really coming to the conclusion that they're going to have to pay today's prices at today's interest rates in order to get into a home. Now, what that means for most people is that rather than looking at $700,000 on a home price, maybe they're only looking at $550,000, right? They have to compromise a little bit, and they say, well, we really can't afford the $700,000 like we thought we might be able to, maybe last year or the year before, but now we're looking at $550,000 because that still gets us into a home. It still gets us into our own place, and that still fulfills their ultimate long-term goal. So, of course, buying a home in this market is not going to be for everybody. Selling your home is not going to be for everybody. Everybody's in a different situation. It really comes down to you and your financial bottom line on what makes the most sense on whether you should rent, whether you should buy, whether you should keep your home, whether you should sell it, maybe you should rent it out, whatever it is. There's a lot of different factors, and that really comes into play here when you're trying to figure out what path to take for your own, for your family, and what makes the most sense for you. So I want to talk about some other things that are actually driving this as well. Right now, there's still a lot of new construction going on in the area. You can still find brand new homes for actually really pretty decent prices, right? Now, again, it is going to be expensive, especially with interest rates where they're at. They do seem expensive, but you can actually get a really, really nice home for somewhere between $600,000 to $700,000 here in St. George. Even in the 500 range, you can still find really nice homes around the area. The other thing I want to mention is that unemployment is still at all-time lows. Right here in Utah, we have one of the lowest unemployment rates in the entire country, and that means that people still have their jobs, they're still making money, and they're still able to make their mortgage payments, which therefore is causing these people not to have to sell their homes. So people are just staying put, they're staying in their homes. Maybe they're not moving up to that next home, maybe they're not buying a second home or a third home or whatever it might be, but they're staying put, they're staying in their home, and they're continuing to make those mortgage payments. So if prices are going to change, what does that actually look like? Well, I do think we'll probably see a little bit of seasonality going into the winter months. I do expect probably prices and the number of sales that are happening to slow down just slightly going into the next couple of months. But there's also a big factor dependent on interest rates and dependent on that unemployment rate. If either of those change drastically, we could see some big moves either in pricing or the number of sales and inventory that are coming into the market. So with all that being said, guys, I covered a ton of information here. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. If you want to stay updated on what it's like to work, eat, sleep, live, and play here in St. George, then make sure to subscribe to the channel so you get updated on new information that's coming out. I try to release tons of videos like this, talking about the market, talking about what it's like to live here. And if you want to follow along, make sure to subscribe. And also, before you go, call, text, or email me anytime. My information will be here on the screen. I love when you guys reach out to me, and I cannot wait to help you along in your journey. I want to be your trusted real estate resource of choice. With that said, my name's Cody Steck. We will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.